Welcome back to Antigua Barbuda today. Join me in welcoming Miss Barbara Arrindell, who is, of course, no stranger to us here on Antigua Barbuda today, and she is the organizer behind the Wadadli Pen Writing Challenge, and she's going to be giving us all the information and details on this exciting and creative world of the Wadadli Pen Writing Challenge for 2024. Good morning, Miss Arrindell.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, you beat me to it, but Happy New Year. I know last year we saw the book that you wrote, The History of Antigua and Barbuda, and I have been seeing it circulating on social media, so that is definitely a plus. And now we're jumping into the Wadadli pen writing competition. Tell us what that is all about.
Okay, so just to clarify though, The History of Antigua is written by Brian Dyett. I republished it.
Republished, okay,
exactly.
yes,
Just so we clear that up. So,
yes.
But yes, thank you so much for having me here. The Wadadli Pen Writing Challenge is now in its 20th year. So 20 years ago, Joanne Hillhouse and a few people got together and started this amazing challenge, this amazing opportunity. Basically, this year in particular, there is no theme. You write whatever it is you feel like writing. The only restriction, so to speak, is a maximum of 500 words. You can write a poem, an essay, a short play, absolutely anything. Our intention is to bring out the creativity in everyone. Also, at one point it was the Youth Writing Challenge.
Yes.
And we got so many adults cussing us.
Because I was going to ask about the age limit.
Right. So we now have an 18 and over section. Right? So this is a writing challenge for everybody. If your 5-year-old is telling stories and you can help them to write a story,
I was going to ask that as
write
well.
that.
Yes.
You know, once we can see it's not been written by you and it's an actual fact, something that would be, created by a young mind, we're accepting it. So there's no downward limit and there's no limit in terms of how old you are. So everybody in Antigua and Barbuda, every resident of Antigua and Barbuda can take part in this writing challenge. We want to see a Caribbean theme, basically. That doesn't mean you're writing about the palm trees and the white sand, although that may factor in. We're looking for life. What is life like here? So your story should include just how things are. So it's a story about anything. It could be a science fiction set in Antigua or in the Caribbean. Absolutely anything. We want the imagination to go wild this year, especially for this, the 20th year of the existence of this challenge.
20
Imagine
years.
that. 20 years. When we talk about an idea becoming a reality and affecting the lives of many people, we're talking about something like the Wadadli Pen Challenge. And this should be an inspiration to other people.
Right.
To just get up and do something. There are so many people who are writing now. We have authors who were once participants.
A part of the,
and winners, and just people who will say, look, I was inspired by this. So to me, that's a fantastic thing to know.
Definitely. Can you provide some details for us in regards to the submission process? Okay.
So this year we're going towards using an online form. So someone has to take a look at the flyer that's being circulated and they will see the link to that form. The idea is that we are making sure this is totally open and that it's totally something that everybody can take part in. We recognize, of course, that sometimes online things can be a challenge for people, but we think it's important that all of our writers know that if you're submitting to challenges overseas, and we should be doing that, this is the process you're going to have to go through. So let's start our 5- and 6-year-olds knowing that this is where it's at now. We're encouraging teachers, of course, to let this be a class project. So if you have the 4th or 5th graders, the 3rd formers, the 6th formers at State College, if you're at Abbott and you're teaching, wherever you are, let this be a project that your students can take part in. Because, sometimes we've seen people who have taken part in this, and they said, I didn't know I could write.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they are becoming aware of their own talents. And of course, writing is fantastic as something that allows you to express yourself. So there are people who use writing almost as therapy. It's how they get the thoughts inside of them that they can't actually say in words. They put it down on paper. So yes, you have to go online, and everything has to come via that form.
Okay.
No exceptions. We just simply can't, because we're then going to pass those forms on to our judges.
Yes.
And our judges are not necessarily all living in Antigua and Barbuda.
Right.
So the idea is tell people right now to just write on any theme, any thoughts. You know, write on visiting a historical site. Write on why the dogs in St. John's are not happy. Write on absolutely anything,
Right.
you know. Write about the storms or agriculture. You know, become a carrot and talk about how the dirt isn't what you want it to be anymore.
Right.
Who knows? But just let your creativity run wild. So we're saying to everybody, just write, and then perhaps have teachers do a bit of vetting, but not to, again, not to rewrite for someone, because
right.
we want each person's individual talent and creativity to come forward. And then, of course, go early to the form. It's something new to many people, so don't wait until the day.
Right. Feel yourself through the form, right?
You know, and do all that writing now, so that in 2 weeks you're ready to actually put it onto the form and send it to us. So we have things early.
Right. So is there a way for a group submission? Because I heard you mention maybe a class project or something like that. Are you accepting group submissions? So you
Well-
can get like a particular class from this school and this is their story. Is there something like that?
Well, they're not going to write. It's an individual thing. Writing is a
Okay.
very personal thing. But when we say that, each person in the class will write their own story.
Okay.
And hopefully, you know, teacher has 22 students.
Might
She
choose the best
can-
two, the best
She
three.
might, or she may send them all. We're okay with that.
Right.
Send them all. You know, our greatest problem will be to have too many entries.
Okay.
That would be a fantastic thing to see. So yes, send them all in. Encourage parents to get involved, because for some teachers, they've been the ones who've had to type up all of these things.
Yes.
But you know what? All of our children are typing with their phones.
Yes.
So have them type it and send it to teacher via WhatsApp, and then maybe she can put it into the form that's being used. Or parents have access. Again, it's learning for everyone. You know, so why not? I want to quickly mention, though, that Wadadli Pen is something that is created by and for the people, which means that people often ask, what prizes are you giving?
Oh, I was.
You were
Yes, I was
getting
gonna
there,
touch
weren't
on
you?
that. I was going to touch on that.
Well, the prizes depend on what corporate Antigua and Barbuda decides to send to us and give to us. And we accept everything. If you're an author and you've written a book and you want people to know more about it, send us a copy or 2 or 3.
Okay.
If you have a few $1,000s to give, because we are also doing developmental programs in terms of
Okay.
workshops that we will do with perhaps, you know, a certain number of participants, that has to be funded. So you may choose to fund something like that. You are running a day trip organization, you have a restaurant, you have
Right.
whatever it is. There's no prize that we are turning back. So you know, just contact us and say, yeah, I want to help out with this. I want to help with a project that's now 20 years old. You know, and
Yes.
and we're going to accept that. We're also looking for volunteers, because it's a small team of about 5 of us, and the work is becoming more and more.
Yes.
We need people to help us to get the word out like this. We need assistance in terms of prepping the same forms that will be sent on to judges. There's so many things.
Yeah.
You know, right now we're looking for somebody to assist us with some basic accounting, because none of us are involved in that.
Right, right.
But when the money comes in, we have to account for it. So if there's somebody out there who has an extra hour every month, because I'm sure it's simple for those who know what to do,
Right.
to keep track of all of those. So anything you can think of, your talent is needed by Wadadli Pen, and we will welcome anybody who is willing to assist.
To assist. And when is the deadline for submissions? Because I don't think we had touched on that.
Okay, so the deadline is the 16th. I want everybody to think about it as being the 10th.
Right?
All right? So think about it as being at least a week in advance, and start putting everything in place to have your entries in and walk away and not worry about it.
Right. And that is the 16th of February or the 10th of February for the early birds. So definitely get your submissions in. Is there anybody else that you would like to say thank you to for
At
being
this
a part
point,
of this?
we already have about maybe 5 or 10 people. Well, we have some regulars who say, well, you know, I'm going to give.
Right, right, right.
But I think we'll wait until the next time that
Okay.
we're here to perhaps say thank you to many people, because I know many more people are going to come on board, many more organizations, companies. If you have giveaways that you normally give to your clients, you want to have them given out or distributed, then we're more than happy, as I said, to accept them.
All right. Well, congratulations on 20 years. That is definitely a long time. And we appreciate that, because as you said, we've seen many authors and so on coming through the Wadadli Pen Challenge, and that is something to be thankful for, something to be grateful for and look forward to. So thank you so much for that, of course.
Great. Last year, the Department of Culture through Camcordis assisted us in terms of the prize-giving ceremony, putting him on the spot now and saying we're hoping that the Department of
He comes
Culture,
back
it would have been the
again, yes.
first year, I believe, that we really had some serious support through a government agency. And it made a big difference. So we are hoping that that agency and others may come on board to make this as wonderful as it can be, celebrating our writers, celebrating our creativity, celebrating our Antigua and Barbuda-ness.
All right. Well, that's all the information on that. Of course, get your submissions in. Call in all parents, teachers, students, and even the little ones that are watching. They're listening, and you might tell your mommy, I want to be a part of that. Tell your stories to mommy and daddy and let them write it down for you. And get your submissions in. It's all about the Wadadli Pen Challenge, and submissions are due on February 16th. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Arrindell.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Always a pleasure. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.